reports. So welcome everybody to the October. Can you believe it's October?
October.
Wow, you know, we started this in May. Randall, somebody can.
It was just,
I'm not really sure. See, people still trying to get on, I guess. So we started this group so that we all get a chance to get to meet each other. And we have some returning guests who have been here. How many of you have been to every meeting? Has anybody here been to? Michael, you don't count. Yeah, so it's been very exciting. You know, we're really excited. This group has been terrific, and we have some new members tonight. So do you guys know how to raise your hand without going like that? Do you know how to do if you go down to reactions at the bottom with a little smiley faces? If you click on that, it'll say raise your hand. So you get a little hand in the corner.
Oh, reaction.
I see it.
There you go. So if you raise your hand, and then I
I'm
can,
joining now, but just if.
okay, so we'll have some new people.
Right here.
There you go. So Marvels, welcome to our meeting. Why don't you introduce yourselves?
well, I'm Rob Marvel. This is my wife, Pam. We actually bought a lot at the Bluffs in 2008. So there was one house at the Bluffs when we first bought. I've been vacationing down there, visiting the property ever since and seeing all the progress, which is really good. We're a little scared in the very beginning because there wasn't much going on, and then all of a sudden now it's booming. We're planning on moving down, starting to build here soon, but moving in the spring, the summer of 2024. So we came down last week, met with some more builders, visited the property, rode around last week, and also did a little mini vacation at the Oak Island. And
We saw you there
Yeah, we saw you there.
okay,
last Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was one of the families
Okay,
that you
yeah.
said you guys met.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Are you feeling better? You're feeling better now?
What's that?
Are you feeling better now? You're feeling more at home. You're feeling more relaxed.
Oh yeah, yeah. But but we're looking at, I guess, 3 primary builders. We're looking at right now Truss Homes, looking at Bill Clark, and we're looking at Ted with Southern Pines. So they have kind of put it together a plan for us that we're looking at that will fit our property. We had our property resurveyed, which is good because we had a lot of wetlands on there, and it was good that we did it because now we have no more wetlands.
Who did your resurvey? Was it Davey?
Land Trust, I think it was called.
Land Trust?
We went, Doug was able to do it with Land Trust, and now it's with the, I think it went over to the next phase, but as of right now, it looks like it's going to be, they call uplands, it's not wetlands.
Yeah, so you got the new plan, you got the new plot plan sent to you?
Yes, we got it sent a couple days ago.
Yeah, because what I learned is it's a two-part process. You go to, I use Davey, who did the original in the Bluffs, the original wetland assessment. And they go and they do their first drawing. And then you have to have a guy come out and go to the property and actually restake it.
Yeah, I think that part still needs to be done.
Yeah.
Okay, terrific. And tell everybody again what where is your house?
Oh, we're on lot 180, which is Old Crab Apple Court. If you ride down there, it's a small court. We're at the very end, sandwiched between 2 already built houses. We did meet our neighbors, Lisa and can't remember. Can't think of his name now, but we they were real nice, and they said they're ready for us to start building. They're going to send us pictures, and we got their name and number, and so we're excited.
Cool.
Okay, awesome. The Gordons.
All right, that's us.
That's us.
I'm Tom. This is Jan.
Yeah,
We live in Southport, recently engaged. And
Congratulations.
we are, thank you. And we are hopefully moving in the month of December this year. Yeah, our location is 9514 Fallen Pear, which is right across the street from the clubhouse. And to pickleball and kayaking.
Awesome. And who built your house?
Anchored building out of Wilmington.
Okay, awesome. Do we have any other new people here for the new to the meeting tonight? Ah, there you are. I thought so. Hey,
Yes, just new this time. I listened to some old ones, but this is my first one to join. So I'm there, and we are just in the early stages. We're under contract with Trust, and we will be at 3710 Friendly Orange Court. And that's kind of the big joke is that we're the Trust Court because
Yeah.
there's a lot of Trust homes on Friendly Orange. And hoping to break ground at the end of November and be in the house maybe this time next year.
awesome. Your trust has been very busy.
Mhm.
So I think, did we get everybody that was new? Great. Okay, so before we get into some other things, I have just a couple of businessy things. So, we got some more people coming in. I have an opportunity to throw out to everybody. I spoke to a really great guy from, his name is Dan, that Bob Conjure had connected me with. He is from a generator company, and he has offered to come and do a presentation for our group.
Hmm.
And Bob worked with him over at River Lights. So he did something similar. So for those people who have not yet purchased generators or have a lot of questions about generators, and if a bunch of us purchase generators where there's a savings of up to almost $1,000 off,
Perfect.
which I think is, and it practically brings everything down to almost the builder's costs. So I said that I told him that I would bring this to the group. And obviously I'll put this out to everybody also who's not here this evening, and anybody else that you know, even if they're not part of this group, if they're, if they're already built and they haven't put in a generator and they're there. I thought that we'll have a separate Zoom. So we thought perhaps next Tuesday evening, I will also record it. So if you're not able to make the meeting, I will make sure that we send it out. His name is Dan from the Generator Superstore. And as I said, Bob worked with him extensively over at River Lights. He really liked him. He did a phenomenal job. He carries, all the different generators. I had a really long conversation with him today. He is super open to questions. He is really, for him, it's about education, and he's willing to work with us, from a price standpoint as well. So I thought that was kind of a cool opportunity. So I thought I would throw that out. Does that sound like something anybody here would be interested in speaking to somebody about?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Robin,
Yes.
does he do the installs also, or is he just
He
sells the
does
generator?
absolutely, he does everything from start to finish. He also, a couple of questions that I asked him, which scared the crap out of me that I actually knew enough to ask the questions, was number one, if your builder has already put in the cut over box, that's not a problem. As long as it's right, he will remove that. It'll take the discount off of his install. If there is anything that he needs to do, he says a lot of times his prices are less expensive than having the builder do it if something has to be moved or, done. But he has no problems answering any questions, educating everybody. If you have friends who are living in other communities and they want to, you want to invite them onto the call, it's not a problem. We're open to it. This is an opportunity for us and, for me to bring on people that can benefit all of us as a group of people. You know, we talked about generators, right, Jackie? You know, we talked about wanting to try to help each other. Even though we're not moving in yet, the benefit for us is that if we're all working together and we're not moving in because we're not, like, for example, we're not looking to move in until 2024. However, you know, as my house is being built, I want to make sure that everything that's going on, like he explained to me that the gas line and the electric have to be in the right place. So it would behoove me to make sure that as my plans are being done, that everything is in the right place for the person who I want to put in the generator.
Mhm.
So this is one of the things that, you know, I never thought in a million years I would even want to know anything about, but you know, I'm going along with, you know, with the game. So does next Tuesday sound like a date that, you know, a bunch of you could show up for? John, is
Yeah.
that something that you'd be interested in attending as well? John Walter, you're muted.
No.
Definitely. I mean, we have a generator hooked up already, but you know, it's interesting to hear what's, you know, the whole selling message. So it's,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
and as I
obviously.
said, you know, I'll send the link out to you guys. And if there's somebody else that you know, like John, because you're there all the time, and Tim, you know, you're walking around, you know, people down there, you know, down in the bluffs as well. So if there's somebody that you think that could benefit from this, maybe somebody that hasn't put in a generator yet and could use the information, please feel free. I'm not going to post it on the bulletin board because I'm not really sure that that's appropriate, like on the whole Bluffs bulletin board,
Mhm.
unless somebody thinks that that's the right thing. There's a lot of stuff going around. So I'm going to email it to all of you. Please feel free to share it. If anybody has any questions, you know, as always, you can certainly send it over to me. As I said, I got it from Bob. He's the one that gave me the contact. So
Can I interrupt?
of
What's
course,
the name of the company?
Generator Super Center.
Generator Super
Super
Center.
Center. Yep.
And they're out of Wilmington?
They are out of Wilmington. He already works with Bill Clark. He's already he already has a relationship with Bill Clark.
Okay, that's easy.
Yep, with
That's
Bill
hard to
Clark, with Haygood. He said he doesn't have a contract with Southern Pines. I mean, he has a contract with Bill Clark, he has a contract with Haygood, and with one other, he's already working with them. I know that he and Jeff have worked from AR, have worked together before. So, you know, he knows AR, so that he's worked with all of the other, with most of the builders. They all know him. And he's done work in River Lights, River Bluffs. You know, he did a lot of them over in River Lights and continues to do them. So he comes highly recommended. So if anybody knows anybody else, as I said, that being said, I also wanted to mention, in case anybody doesn't know, there is a new process. If anybody has anything going on that they have questions or concerns that they're not getting answers, are you all familiar now with the new process to get information from the main office?
No.
Have you seen that? Okay.
Yeah.
You're familiar. Okay, so what I'm gonna so basically, if you go onto the owner's portal, there is now a
Okay.
form to fill out if you need any information from, a question, a problem, if something's not being done. There is there's something there on the portal. So I can, share the screen. It was important because people were complaining. If you saw a lot of the back and forth on the Living in the Bluff site, that there was a lot of stuff going on, that people were complaining that Doug wasn't answering them, or the sales office wasn't answering them. Karen Coons, who I spoke with Karen, and she had a meeting with Doug. She's one of the ambassadors, and she had a meeting with Doug because rather than doing a lot of complaining, we have to come up with a way, because eventually the residents will be taking over, taking this over. So in an effort to make communication better, rather than a lot of a game of telephone and a lot of people complaining, there is now a process. So if you go onto the owner's portal, you'll see that there is a questionnaire. It will go in and it'll go to the appropriate people. Okay, so if you have any
Okay.
questions about that, give me a call. I'll be happy to walk you through that. And anybody else have any major things they want to bring to the table before we open it up to fun and games? Okay, fun and games. Sandy, what's going on with your house?
It's moving right along.
Is it?
Yeah, they painted it. That was exciting.
Ooh.
I was there for a real quick visit before I went to see my dad, and they had started the trim, and I was able to give Kevin Crawford a picture of his house next door. Yay!
Yay.
Thank you, Sandy.
Hi, how you doing? And yeah, I think it might be ready by the end of the year.
Good deal.
And when was it that you thought you'd be going in?
Well, we knew it was never gonna be. It should have been done in August.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
but we had a few hiccups because of the sunroom, and they couldn't get the right windows and the retaining wall, and there was a couple other things that kind of held it up. Plus, all the supply chain stuff. So,
Yeah, I'm
but
so
we're
tired of
okay.
it.
We weren't in a hurry, so that was okay.
Okay, cool. Anybody else have some like amazing news or anything that they want to share? Napoli's, you have some news that you want to share?
We're in, we signed the contract on October 1st with AR, and, hopefully we'll be moving in sometime, late summer, fall of 24. That's when we plan, when I finish work. Up work.
Where's your lot?
It's, lot 24, 3706 Little Berry Place.
So is there, like, what, I guess, it's interesting, because we just signed with AR too this month.
You
And-
finally did? I didn't know.
Yeah, this
Okay.
week we signed.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. But I'm curious, because you're saying you're saying 24, late
Well,
summer.
that's when we wanna move. Yeah, no,
Okay, so
No,
it
no,
wasn't
no, no.
dictated by him. Okay.
No, but you said,
I think it'll be ready before then, but we're ready, we'll be ready in like the fall of 24 to move.
What did he give you as a start of construction? Like your start date?
March,
Okay.
April of 23.
That's what we are. We're March. That's what he told us. That was the next slot available was March.
Yeah.
Now,
So
it
yeah,
took us-
so it'll be interesting because we're just waiting for the road,
Yes.
whole road. Yeah, so hopefully we were supposed to start when, Michael? When were we supposed to start? You're on mute. You're muted, honey. I think we were supposed to start, I think, in August.
And now you're December?
So now, well, that was August and it was supposed to be like October. And now it depends on the road. I mean.
Your
if it-
road, you know what? I just saw your road. It looks really good. It's
Yeah,
really
it
nice. It's really, I mean, it's not paved, but it's all packed. It's all packed dirt.
I keep
It looks
getting,
better last time.
it's so funny because I keep getting, Harry's been sending me pictures and everyone's been sending me pictures of like flat dirt. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And I love you all for sending me pictures of my dirt. I love it. But Matt, we're waiting for the curbs. And I guess they can't start until all the utilities are in. So Matt basically said the curb. So we are, for those who don't know, we are all the way totally at the very last bit of Bay Colony Road. So we are the very last house at the end of the cul-de-sac, right next to the Webbers. So you go as far as you can possibly go into the cul-de-sac right at the end of Bay Colony Road, and we are very much so. If you've ever been in the Southern Pines model home, my backyard backs up to like 80 feet from the backyard of that Southern Pines Road. There'll hopefully be like a walking path from, is that fallen, is that
Flint Rock.
Flint Rock on that side over, walking back and forth. So it'll be interesting. And Rocco, you guys are the cul-de-sac, like what, two
Right before
cul-de-sacs
you.
right
Two
before.
cul-de-sacs before you, yeah, on Orange Manor.
I have not met one person on our street yet.
And what street are you guys on?
Orange Manor.
Court.
And they're all sold.
Really?
Yeah.
What was interesting was we started working with AR back in July, and then they were giving us a December start date. And now we finally signed with 3 months later, and we're in March. We got pushed to March.
But I think part of that also, that was also like August, from what I understand, from those of you who have been down in Wilmington, was a very, very rainy month. So one of the problems for them is that he was supposed to have some foundations done, and he got moved back because he wasn't able to start some of the other builds. So that pushed him back for his starts, which pushed all of us forward. So, we just keep getting bumped only because he couldn't start us.
And
So
the
we're also,
permitting
also,
process,
what's about it, Tim?
the permitting process takes 3 months. So that's one of the reasons too.
Yeah.
And
So that's
what's
a
going,
December,
what's going on with your build, Tim?
The permitting process.
Oh, you're still in that, huh?
Yeah, we signed a contract almost exactly 3 months ago, and they're threatening to clear the lot like in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
I've got a chainsaw picked out. and I'm ready to do it myself.
So let me ask you, clearing the lot, have you gone down there to tag trees and what you're keeping and what you want removed, or?
We
Are you
haven't
leaving
done
it
that
to the builder?
walkthrough yet, but they definitely do that. They bring it to what happens is, they do like a rendering, they bring it to the board, they bring it to the town or whatever to get the permit, and then you mark the trees. Somehow that's tied in what the board does, and then you go for it, I guess. I don't understand why it takes so long, but I'm figuring like I could probably get the lot cleared on Thursday if I wanted to. I mean, like if I wanted to do it, get someone to do it myself, but there's a process. So what I have heard though, from just talking to you guys and talking to other people, is that 3 to 3.5 months is the sweet spot from time you sign to time you clear.
Yeah, that's what we heard too.
So what,
But
so what,
you went down there and actually tagged trees already. You've already gone through that.
No, we haven't done, no, we live here. So we moved down here 4 months ago. So we've tortured ourselves to we go over there every day and check it out and stuff. But no, apparently the builder's supposed to call us shortly and we'll walk the lot and mark the trees.
Do they kind of guide you at marking the trees? Because I'm like, how do I know what trees?
well, no,
Exactly. No, that's what they're for. So
Okay.
that's what they offer to us. And other people that are building with Ted probably know that better than I do.
So Nicole, I just had a conversation with Jeff and Debbie about that. And basically what happens is that the way AR does it is they actually have a drawn plan, and every tree is identified of what the trees that are on the lot
Wow.
are
That's how
identified by
our builder did it too.
are
Yeah.
identified by the type of tree that is in every space.
Oh,
So
that's
they go on,
awesome.
they put the house on the plan. It's drawn on there. And then they basically say, these are the trees that have to go. And then these are the trees that potentially can stay. That plan is now presented to the committee, the committee, which meets every 2 weeks. For those of you who don't know that, that's the sweet spot, is making sure that you get in there when the committee, they take a look at it, that gets approved, the Bluffs committee. And then once that's approved for the trees that they're going to move, then they go down and then they mark those trees. And then
That's
at
correct.
some point, but Jeff, our builder basically said, it is not a tandem event. It's not like Doug comes with the builder and he stands there and it's like a hunk of kumbaya moment. This is not a group effort. Has anybody felt, had that experience? I mean, John, you've been, this is not a group fun activity. They basically, they put the plan out there. These are the trees that we need to remove. And if Doug goes down to make sure that the ones that they said it was okay to remove, get removed, he's kind of like monitoring to make sure that nothing else funky is going on. That's the impression that I got. Anybody have a different?
Well, with
So I want all the pine trees removed.
Robin, they did that process with us, and it was a little bit of a negotiation, so that we had a few pine trees that we wanted removed, and we kind of highlighted those as being like just not in bad spots. But obviously when they look at your lot, obviously when they position your house, everything within the house is gone, but there's a proximity to the house where I think there's like a barrier where any tree within that lot and that space needs to come out because it can't be too close to your house.
Right.
But the rest of it is a negotiation.
We had the same. We have one tree on our lot.
Wow.
And we had to discuss it. But it's a pine tree and it must not be in the area. But they want us to leave it, and we wanted to get the pine tree off so it wouldn't fall in the house. But we rode around the neighborhood and saw how many people have similar trees close to their house, and we're keeping it.
And after you close, you can always take it down if you choose.
That's what the builder said.
Yeah. Nadine, did you want to share something?
No, I was hitting the like button for taking down the pine trees because.
Oh, that was a thumbs up. Okay.
Absolutely.
You also see the builder's point of view that every tree that comes down costs them money, so that they have a vested interest to take down as little trees as possible, but they also want to keep you happy. But they don't want to take down every tree either because it costs them money per tree.
Right. Yeah, I think we're pretty happy that there aren't many pine trees on our lot. We got
A couple.
Yeah, a lot of them are right where
Some
we're
of them would absolutely have to come out to build the house, but there are a few towards the back that
They look terrible.
we might have to push hard.
I can tell you where we live now, our neighbors have pine trees and we've removed them all, but our neighbors do. And I had to put the leaf guard, the gutter guards on to prevent all the needles from going in. So if you do have pine trees anywhere near your house, it's worth the investment right away. Get the gutter guards. It save you a ton of headache for the $1,000 or $1,200 or whatever it is that it costs.
Yep.
Kevin, what's going on with your house?
Well, it's like I say, Sandy took some pictures of us or for us. We're supposed to putting the plumbing in this week and found the slab probably poured maybe end of the week or first part of next week.
Exciting.
So we're making some progress.
So you guys that have been walking around, Tim, have you been seeing some exciting stuff going on, or has it been kind of status quo?
I don't know if people want to hear the truth.
We always want to hear the truth.
Yes.
Whole truth.
Every time I'm there must be like a party or something, someplace that I wasn't invited to because no one seems to be around. It's just a little slow. It's slow. It depends. I've spoken to so we're with Southern Pines. I've spoken to like Troy, who's like their foreman a lot, and it just seems to be like it's no one thing that causes delays. Because I drive by folks' house and I'm like, wow, no one's been there in 3 months, and that concerns me because I'll be in that situation probably 10 months from now, and they say, no, it's just like certain things. Like last month, it was like fire caulking. That just didn't exist. They couldn't get it anywhere. And it delayed everything like 3 weeks for some houses in that stage, So I was told again, I was reassured. So those of you who building with Southern Pines, that it's 12 to 14 months from when you sign the contract, and they said it's getting better or forecasted to get better.
Now, when you're saying you don't see any work, is that just Southern Pines houses or you don't see, it's across the board regardless?
It's across the board. It's across the board. I will say that Kent seems to be working more than anybody else.
Kent?
Yeah,
And
we were there.
In Cyprus, coastal Cyprus is building 2 houses across the street from each other. There's always people there. But there are literally some houses that I go by that no one has been there like for 2 months, not even one car, you know? And I'm like, can't be that many issues, but it's just the nature of the beast. As long as it's coming, and from those of you who are further along, we're talking about, I've been asking you guys about, thank you very much though for answering, about like when your expected date is versus when you started. And it all seems to be in that 12 to 14 months.
Mhm.
And I'm hearing that some of the builders are quoting 18 right now.
Wow.
So Tim,
Wow.
Tim, I'm just about done, so we're moving in a week and a half. It was all of 18 months.
Was it really? Wow.
Yeah.
What builder is that?
Southern Pines.
Southern Pines also?
Now,
Yeah,
John,
all of 18
was-
months.
When you
what
signed
what
it,
were
when
you, John, what were you told from the at the beginning?
I think I was told 12 months.
Wow.
What did they say?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's what we're being told.
Yeah.
We're being
So-
told 12.
We signed in early April and he broke ground in July, like right after 4th of July, and now it's October and he's doing our punch list. So
I met a family yesterday who was building with Haygood and they said they were quoted 18 months.
yeah.
So why
Wow.
is it and it's interesting because I know a couple of people who were building with Trust,
Yep.
and Trust seems to be very much, now I don't know whether it's because most of the trusts,
We might be.
the
muted.
people, and is anybody here building with Trust?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you in the process of building with Trust right now?
Oh, they're
Have you
rocking and
started?
rolling.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
but
Trust is are you in Bay Colony by any chance?
No. Silver
But-
Melon, right on the corner of Fallen Pear and Silver Melon.
but
Oh, that's a beautiful house. Yeah, they do work quite a bit too. Trust is there all the time.
But I'm hearing that, they seem to be pretty much on target. I think some of it is maybe because they're not doing as much deviation from their plans. So, but for some reason, Trust seems to have the process going well. So, that seems to be in that 11, I think they're saying like 9 to 11.
Mhm.
I mean, that's
Trust
what I'm
has an
hearing.
excellent superintendent.
So you think that's what it is, that there's
I
somebody.
think it's a lot of it.
Yeah.
And they're all
I
using,
will have to
they all
say
use
with
their own
Trust-
subcontractors. Right, so every builder has their own subcontractors that they use. So some are just, if you have a builder that has 10 houses, they have the same subcontractors doing 10 houses versus another builder that has 5 houses. So obviously they're gonna get more done.
Ted has 42. Yeah.
Somebody
Tim,
was.
when did you sign your contract?
We signed our contract July 13th,
Of this past year or the year?
just this past year.
Okay.
So exactly 3 months ago.
Okay.
And we talked about clearing the property the last week of October.
The first week.
Yeah.
Alice,
If you're
you've
there
been-
all the time, stop by. I'll be there on the 22nd.
We are
Alice,
there.
you've been very
We're there
quiet.
all the time.
Well, I'm taking this all in because, we're looking at moving in the summer of 24. So
Mhm.
we haven't signed any contracts. So I'm kind of trying to figure out times and listening to everybody.
So
and
Alice,
what they're doing.
we're also looking probably late fall of 24. I know Gary and Suzanne, you're looking 24 as well. Carrie, you guys were looking summer of 24, if I remember.
Late summer, early
Late-
fall.
Late summer of 24.
Mhm.
You guys think that, I guess I've been trying to follow everything, and I don't know how Leland area is like with supplies. I mean, I just heard today that lumber went down from the high 74%. mean that it's gotten better. So things are, I'm hoping that things will improve by next year with supplies, but I don't know the situation there in Leland. I just know it in Colorado.
It's always something. Right now, we're waiting for drywall and Ted says he's not sure because with the Florida situation. It's always something.
Florida situation.
Yeah, but I heard, because I've spoken to some people who are in construction down in Florida, and it's gonna be a while. Like, in other words, this is not an immediate situation with drywall and all that stuff down in Florida. From what I understand, it is gonna be a year or two before, before reconstruction and everything else is gonna start down there. Now, again, what do we know? But I don't think that's gonna be affecting you guys who are like Tim isn't gonna be affected by, the drywall situation in Florida right now. Hopefully. Barb, when is your house expected to be finished?
We're supposed to have our CO on the 26th of this month, so we're moving in maybe the 27th or 28th.
Very cool. So where is all of your stuff right now? You have it in
It's
storage?
it's in at least 3 different, we're keeping this home up here. It's in like 3 different warehouses down in Wilmington.
From all the furniture stores that we bought from, we told them up front what the situation was, and they were very willing to work with us in terms of, because one thing would come in and then a month goes later before another thing comes in. So it's being stored in the 3 different furniture stores that we've decided to purchase from since literally last October when we started.
Yeah, last
buying stuff.
October, we were down there and then they said things would be coming in because we were supposed to get in there July-ish. And because we broke ground last December. So we'll be in October.
Which is really not
Hopefully.
bad considering what everybody, hey Max. With
Oh, and
everybody.
hang on one second. Tim, thank you for taking all those pictures for us.
No, thank you for building such a beautiful house that we're gonna copy a lot from.
That's fine. Go in there whenever.
You'll come into our house,
Seriously,
you'll
Tim
take your
does this
home.
unsolicited and major shout out to you. Major shout out.
Tim is doing a fantastic,
Unsolicited.
we text him and say, I don't remember what this looks like. And Tim, and not even an hour later, we have pictures. So it's fantastic. And we're just so excited.
I promise that when you move in, I'll stop.
We're worried about that, but that's okay. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Come and visit us though. We want to meet you in person.
No, absolutely. Hey Max, how are you?
Unmute.
You unmute, and there's somebody else here. All I see is iPhone 6. I'm not sure who that is.
It's me, Marlene Morshauser.
Hey, Marlene, how are you?
Hi, Robin. I'm good. How are you?
It's good to see you. We've got some new people here. We've been going over a whole bunch of things, and I'm certainly. We're just, of course, the conversation has gone towards, we may have some graduates very soon. We've got some people possibly moving in. And of course, I'll send everything out to everybody. How is everybody else's? How are you guys? How's your builds going? Max,
Go ahead.
Marlene, what's going on with you?
Our neighbors across the street are so kind, and they sent us some pictures a couple days ago where the brick and the blocks are on our property. So hopefully that means something is happening. Ted, he doesn't really give you an update. So, I was lucky that I lived in Leland, so I have a lot of family and neighbors there. So they're going to go this weekend and try to take some more pictures for us.
Okay, awesome. It's amazing what gets us excited these days.
I know.
Bricks.
I know.
It's bricks. It's bricks.
I know. It's crazy.
But it's good. Max, what's going on with you guys?
Just rocking right along, and got our footer in, and got another meeting this week with Ted, and I expect to be in between June and August. So we'll see what happens.
Between June, okay,
really
so,
haven't-
so when did you guys start your process?
So we signed on all of our documents back in April or May, I think, somewhere in that range. So he's got 20 that are going on right now, and we're part of that 20. So I was content with that. So I joked with him. I said, I don't really care when you finish. I just care when you start. Well, because inevitably he wants to finish because he wants to get paid. So the sooner he gets started, the sooner he gets finished. So, but a lot of the houses I've seen are moving along pretty quickly. You can see there's several that are fixing to drop off and be done in the next 30 days, and then several before the end of the year. So it's good to see those. And it's funny, you talk about seeing bricks and pavers out and block out in front of your house. Ours are getting delivered in, I think, this week or next. And I can literally see he's got 3 teams that do the block and brick, and you can just watch them kind of move about the neighborhood. And so we'll see. Ours will be formed in the next 3 weeks, I assume. And then I expect to have walls. I expect to have sticks up by Christmas. So
And Max, where is your lot?
yeah, so we're over off of Bay Colony on Bar Harbor. So it's there's 3 technical lots on that. We have the entire right-hand side of that lot. I don't ask me what lot number it is, because I definitely don't remember now. So
Okay.
273. I just
Oh,
remember.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
sweet.
So
All right, awesome. All right, Mayor, did you have a question?
No, that was just an accident.
Oh, okay. Well, feel free to ask. So it's interesting, Max, because Tim was just commenting that he's there every single day, and he's getting frustrated because he's not seeing a lot of progress. And I think maybe the 2 of you need to go for a walk, and maybe Tim, maybe he needs to take you to where he's seeing all this progress. Maybe you're
Yeah,
going
I
down the
know.
wrong block.
I know,
Tim,
right?
I missed that part of it. But honestly, I mean, I look at it this way: like, I can't build the house. I got to pay somebody to do it. And honestly, I feel blessed. We sold our house back in April we bought the house for 111 a square. We sold it for 213 a square in 4 years. It ain't worth what it sold for, but I mean, it put us in a position that was just unbelievable. And so I'm having to pay a little bit of rent for the next year or so, but I'm renting from a personal couple that are friends of ours. So like, I'm not worried about trying to get in and out of an apartment or a time frame, or I guess I just am as relaxed as I can be about it. I joked and said I won't do it with we've got 1 kiddo right now, and our plan was to have another kiddo eventually. Well, we screwed that up, and I joked all along I wouldn't build a house with a pregnant wife. I screwed that up. So I'm building a house with a pregnant wife now. So
When is she due, Max?
Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay. So soon.
Correct. I told Ted he had an updated timeline, and he said, I've been there before. I said, yeah. I said, I know you ain't gonna make that. So we had some fun laughing about it. No, I mean, like, I can't control anything. So I worry about the things I can control and the things I can't. Like, I can't wait to be in there. Don't get me wrong. We go and just sit and hang out and watch our little guy play around out in the dirt, and he loves it. So, I mean, it'll come when it'll come. The only problem that's a pain in the ass is we keep adding things. So we find more and more things to spend money on.
Yeah, that's a concern. I think it's more of a concern for Michael. Just the longer that this process takes is the more things that I'm finding and seeing and coming down. So how many people are going to be down for the POA meeting, or going to be in town for the POA meeting? Is everybody going to be, does everybody know about the POA meeting in Wilmington? Everybody knows about it. So yeah, so that's the December, the party the day before. at, you know, in the area. It should be interesting. Anybody have anything that they have questions about, they've been seeing? I'm sure is everybody here on that whole Facebook extravaganza that's been going on?
I have a question about the
You follow
AV,
them on Facebook?
the kids on all ATVs.
And the ATVs that you saw there today.
Yeah.
So, okay, so what was explained to me, and I mean, I saw what you saw today. So evidently the police have been called. Evidently, the last about I think it was 2 meetings ago, if I remember correctly. Evidently, that side of the property used to be like an access road to the preserve, like when our property wasn't our property, you know, when the Bluffs wasn't the Bluffs, that was like an access road to the Barrens or whatever we were. So the where they're coming in is public land, and I guess they're coming into our green space. So they're coming in on public land, but they're infringing on our spot. Evidently, there were pictures or video taken, and this is what I'm hearing, and the police were called. So the police are now there are no license plates, because evidently these vehicles do not need license plates. So there's no way of identifying the people who are the individuals who are driving it.
And Robin, the issue that from what I've gathered is that we're a gated community, but there's not a gate around the entire community.
Correct.
Right.
You know, so it's not like they're cutting a gate and riding their ATVs through it. They're just riding through the woods, and they end up in the Bluffs property, and then they see roads and they see construction, curiosity gets them, whatever it is. But I mean, to solve the problem, there needs to be a chain link fence around the entire perimeter. Granted, and then that comes at, you know, that's how you solve the problem. But then there's the whole problem. Where does that cost come from? You know, I mean, that's a huge fence that has to be built. But to be a gated community, that's what you go to Florida, gated communities, they're gated. They have a gate around there's a fence around the entire community. Here we have woods and on each side of us that's open, and we have a gate in the entrance that a car can't get through. There's a bit, you know, it's different.
And I think that's probably a growing, I mean, I'm assuming that that's probably a growing pains kind of thing that as time goes on.
Yeah.
But the local police are involved. They have been called. I'm almost guaranteed that it will be, I'm sure it will be addressed.
But how do they address it? You know, it's like, how do they do it? I see an assessment in our future where they're going to have to put a fence around the entire perimeter, and they're just going to do an assessment. Every lot chips in 120, whatever that value is, and pays for the fence, because there's no, you can't, it's too big. You can't police it. There's no way to do it.
So I get what you're saying, but I also think, remember, you go back 3 years ago, there was maybe a couple houses being built in there. You go back 5 years ago, there's 30 houses in an entire neighborhood. You look at the next 5 years at the amount of homes that are going to be built, it's just going to change how people egress and degress the property. And I don't see it'll be a pain for the next 6 months. And eventually these people are going to get ran off, and they'll be told they can't come in. And like, it's long-term, I don't think it'll be as big of an issue as we think it will be. It's just a pain in the ass right now, because we're all sitting not there. We can't manage our property. We can't manage our homes. We can't watch over our area. And so it's aggravating as it could be. But I think long-term, I mean, my dad lives there, and I ain't heard a word about it. And so,
Alice, I see your hand up. You're sitting in the dark, babe. I can't see your face.
Oh, I know. I probably am. So I guess I was curious is there like a no trespassing signs? I know I heard something about purple. If you put purple on your trees, I couldn't remember what the deal was with the purple, but is there any like no trespassing signs at least? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
No, but that would be a good thing for every, I mean, that would be a good
Start.
community activity to go put some out, like grab a couple beers and go out and put some signs up, and then at least you've got some argument about how you can press charges for trespassing. So
I'm sure, yeah, I'm
Something simple.
sure, I'll, you know, I'll have a conversation. I'll look into, I'll give them a call at some point and I'll try to see whether, you know, I'll bring it to the powers that be and find out, Barb, certainly, you know, and bring it back to everybody to see what's been going on. Because I know they are addressing it, and I know that everyone is trying to not turn this into something where there's a lot of misinformation going on. So I anticipate us seeing something coming out, like, and I know, I'm sure everybody saw the assessment now, or the fine, if for the people that have been, they're addressing the people speeding through the community.
Yeah.
Because evidently it's the same 2 or 3 people that have been speeding through the community.
I'm not sure that's enforceable.
Yeah, no,
No?
they post the speed limit? No.
well, it's enforceable from an aspect of you can put assessments or fines on a property. And then in turn, you can put a lien on a property if it's a homeowner. And then from there, it's, you just don't let them back in the community if they're not residents.
Alice, I still see your
A
hand
lien
up.
might take 20 years to collect.
Yeah, well,
Well, sure, it's when they sell the property, it gets collected.
Like they do here, if you don't,
If you don't pay. your
Actually,
HOA.
or if you
No,
look
they-
at, I think if you look at your homeowners association, unpaid dues, they can put a lien on your property. Unpaid. dues.
Correct.
Yep, they can do that.
We live here.
You can't sell your property with a lien against it.
Yeah, I mean, we bought our property secondhand through MLS, and the people bought it in 2017, and they never paid the property taxes or the HOA for the entire time. So at closing, it all came out of the HUD. You know, there you could see a line items. You know, they had $6,000 or something in HOA fees that went right, Doug.
Taxes and liens come out first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
so
been
it
president
comes out in the wash.
of Local HOA, and we've had that happen a few times where people who just refuse to pay, and in the end said, okay, well, when that house goes up for sale, that's when we know we're gonna get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have somebody in our neighborhood that never pays their HOA, and one day they'll have to pay up.
so Alice, what is your, I know you're saying about 2024. Now that you're hearing about timing, and because I know that, and I know that you've been kind of like laid back about your next steps. Well, how is that changing, you know, what you're thinking about doing? When is the next time you're going to be coming east?
Oh, I know. It's kind of scary. We bought our property like within hours of being there and then left. And that was last October and haven't been back since. So, so I think we're going to go ahead and go with Southern Pines. But I think we're going to talk to Ted in January, and then looking at March, signing a contract and seeing where it goes. I mean, we're not like in any big rush, but except it's kind of hard being in Colorado and having to try to build from long distance.
I know that.
Yeah, I mean, even Virginia.
It's hard being in Virginia.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the benefit and honestly, the wonderful thing that I think has come out of this group is that you have a tribe of people, and you know, we're all going to be here for better or for worse. We're all going to be here with with cameras and cell phones, and you have everybody's number, and we'll make sure it's not the same thing. But it's amazing what can happen with with a phone and a video, and it's what we have to do. We've all been through it, right? We're all going through it now. We're all, and if we haven't been through it, we're going to be going through it soon. And it's what we're going to do. It'll be very interesting because the Napoli's, the Mazais and us we're all gonna be building kind of piggyback. Hopefully, fingers crossed, so whenever we're all gonna be down at different times, hopefully we'll be able to keep an eye on everything.
What date are they giving you, Robin? Because we're both March for breaking ground.
I've been saying this since we saw our friend, all roads lead to Alara. When the road leads to the Alara, my house will start being built. As I said, he just keeps pushing my start date because we had a slot starting in August. Then it was, we owned a slot in August. Then it was September because the road wasn't done. Then it was now it's October. The road's still not done. If the road's done in November.
Well, he's telling me it doesn't have to be paved. He
No,
just
but
says
the utilities have to be there.
Yeah, utilities and curbing.
So Matt said the curbing, the pipes, the underground stuff is there. So I'm gonna say if Michael, what do you think? Early December?
I'm not taking any bets.
Very smart.
I think if I had to guess, I'm gonna say probably before, like mid-December. I'm thinking based upon I spoke to them this week. I'm thinking he's hoping mid-December.
All right, so you'll be 3 months ahead of us.
Yeah,
The other
which
two.
makes, and I think that will probably work well for him because if he starts us, it'll work. It'll work well for, for everything going, hopefully with everything, in order.
Well, yeah, he's purposely staggering it then, because if you're in December, let's say, or even January, he has February more, that he didn't want to fill up.
Right.
So he put us for March and the Napoli's in March.
Right. So he'll be on premises, so which will be really nice. So is there anybody, and there've been some quieter people going on here, anything that anybody wants to ask questions about or talk about or
we've been wondering if anyone else is building with Haygood Homes, because we've heard a lot of talk of other folks building, a lot of people with Southern Pines and Trust and a few ARs. And from what we understand so far, Haygood's process seems very similar to AR in that we have a selection date. We're going in January. And our nominal timeline, we're expecting, to move in March, April 2024. The streets in place, the curbs are there, the utilities are there. So the only thing holding things up is us getting into selections, but I haven't heard any other experience with Haygood. So
I can tell you this, that they have 6 properties marked, with people's names on them and stuff. Just on Flint Rock and around one of those loops. Where are you guys?
we're on Fallen Pear on the water on 9148. So we're going to be across the street from one of their models, actually 2 of their models that they're building.
Yeah, that Flint Rock and River Glen Loop, Haygood has like 6 signs up. We walked it the other day, and they're like, so they must have bought a lot of properties. Maybe some of those are spec houses.
Yeah.
Okay, because nobody here has a contract with.
I don't see anybody's name. I remember the name. There were homeowners, so I remember some of the names, but I don't see anybody on this call.
Yeah, I did remember.
Next time I'm there, I'll write them down. And
Okay. Yeah, I thought I remember. Our last name is Race, R-A-C-E.
oh, I know where your house. I've seen your house.
Yeah, thank you.
Or sign.
Our sign. Yeah, we're very proud.
Yeah.
Your sign. That's a hell of a sign.
No, I've heard only good things. You know, I've heard that, you know, I've heard, but there have been people, you know, over the last couple of months that there have been people that have been building with Haygood.
I heard, but I don't think any of them are on tonight.
Not on tonight, but you know, but they will. And so,
you know, we don't want to be the trailblazers. Right?
Not really.
But you know, and I, you know, something I think that if we've all learned anything is that just when you think you figured it out, there's always something new to learn. You know, Max and Maureen, just to fill you in, next Tuesday evening, you'll be getting an email. We have a gentleman from one of the generator companies is going to be doing a presentation from the Generator Supercenter, and he is offering some pretty significant savings to our group. He's worked with Bob Condra, so I will send that link out to you if you'd like to join. You're welcome to join, and I will also be I'll be recording it, so if you can't make it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. And yeah, so, and if there's anybody else that you know that you think would be interested, you know, you can certainly feel free to share the link with them. Carrie.
I was just going to ask, is anyone building with Coastal Cypress?
So one of my girlfriends is building with Coastal Cypress. She is having a phenomenal experience. And she hasn't been on the call. She's a very needy builder. So they've been amazing. She's gone through a very tough time, and they have held her hand through everything. She was very specific. She went to go look at a lot of their models. They have taken her, they have a phenomenal decorator. I'll be happy to, in a couple of weeks, she's had nothing but wonderful things to say. So, you know,
They've been working really hard on Rivergate. They have 2 houses across the street. They're there every day.
Yeah, her house is actually on is also on Bay Colony. Michael, where is she on Bay Colony? In the kind of
Well, she's on that first portion that is all paved. There's a bunch, there are some houses around her. I don't remember the lot number, but she's all the way around the other side. I mean, we're at the end and she's all the way around the other side where there's already some properties that are well in development. And so when did she start, Robin? She already broke ground several months ago.
Oh, no, I'm sure. No, her siding is up, her roof is on.
Yeah.
I mean, she's, you know, they've been going pretty, they've been really hauling. The only reason that it's been stopped a little bit is because unfortunately, her husband passed this past week. So things are going to slow, you know, just have slowed a little bit. So, but she's been thrilled. It's really been, you know, and you know, in the next couple of weeks, Carrie, I'll be more than happy when things settle down a little bit for her. You know, I'll be more than happy to connect the two of you.
Sure. Thanks.
So, yeah, you know, and Alice, if there's anything we can, if anything, I know it must be so frustrating to be so far. Hopefully we'll get you back east a little bit, you know.
Yes, I mean, we've got a lot going on, so I'm okay. But yeah, I mean, we sold our house.
Oh, you did?
In April of this year. So we're renting. So we're renting a house that's in the 90s and not remodeled. And so it's like, oh, I can't wait until our new house. John and I always say, oh, you know, we missed this or whatever. So I'll be anxious to be in our new home.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, so it sounds like everybody is cooking with gas, and you know, everything else is going well. If nobody has anything, you know, monumental, I will make an appointment 7:30 for next Tuesday for the generator guy. I will send everything out to you. And as I said, if you want to share it with anybody else, please feel free to share it. I will record it, and you know, hopefully we'll get some, you know, questions answered for you. And even as I said, you know, John, if you want to confirm that you've done the right thing, or you know, you have have a question. I mean, sure. he really just wants to make sure that people have what they need, and that it's done correctly. I mean, that's his biggest thing. You know, I will tell you, after Hurricane Sandy, you know, I and moving south, the first thing I said to Michael is, I gotta, you know, I have to have a generator. And during Hurricane Sandy, it was because I wanted a hot shower. You know, now because we had, you know, we have oil. You know, now it's like I have to have air conditioning. You know, that's the really the big deal. So, you know, I feel pretty confident. So I will send that out to you guys. If there's anything else, if I hear anything else about what's been going on, Rocco, if there's something, there's got to be something, I'm sure the people who were there about the ATV stuff, you know, I will certainly be happy to share it. If anybody has any other questions about anything else going on, make sure you go, when you go onto the portal, onto the owner's portal, it's, you know, when you go to where all the forms are and all of the HOA information over there, you'll see at the very bottom is the form for if you have questions or you want to submit any kind of problem or question or anything else, it's over there. And that's pretty much, that's, you know, that's whatever else is going on. So anybody have anything else? Everybody's good?
Hey, Robin, we're gonna be there next week, so if anybody needs anything, we're gonna meet, my wife Lori and I'll be running around in Leland and Curry Beach, so we'll be there next week if anybody needs
Oh,
anything.
cool. Oh, and our neighbor's ice cream store opened this week. So just make
Yeah.
sure if you are in town
I am coming.
to make sure that, you know, you go have a cone and go and say hi, and it's all good. And yeah, so it's great. So, you know, thank you guys for coming, and also, you know, just stay safe and stay happy, and I'll see whoever's going to be on next week. And if you have any questions, you know where to find us. And thanks to for our great photographers, and keep up the good work. And we appreciate you guys. And thanks for being here. We'll see you soon.
Point of
Thank you.
information,
Yes, sir.
Have a good night.
Cleveland 1, Yankees nothing, bottom of the third.
Yankees just tied it. Sorry, the Yankees just tied it.
No.
High score.
Oh, they just tied it.
It's
Yeah.
only the third.
Yeah.
Cleveland will sweep it. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh,
Cleveland's
yeah.
gonna sweep it.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.